Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here, and today I want to talk to you guys about John Dies at the End, written for the screen and directed by Don Coscarelli, Phantasm fame, Bubba Hotep, the Beastmaster, etc., etc. And to try and break this movie down in a simple one or two sentence plot synopsis is impossible, but God help me, I'm going to try right now. The movie is about these two slackers, Dave and John, who stumble upon this new street drug called soy sauce. And one of the side effects of soy sauce is it opens up this parallel universe, this other dimension to its user. And through this, we discover that this other dimension is invading our dimension. And John and Dave, with the help of a TV evangelist played by Clancy Brown, yes, Clancy Brown of Pet Sematary, Highlander, seek out to stop this threat. And the movie is easily one of the most entertaining, just outrageous, trippy, fantasy films I've seen in a long time, maybe ever. It's fantasy horror, it's fantasy sci-fi, it's fantasy. It is, like most of Don Coscarelli's movies that are, fantastical. It's idea-driven, it is imaginative, and it's really like nothing that you've seen before. And that to me is really, really high praise, especially for a movie these days, a genre-type movie for these days. I mean, this is genre-bending, it's mind-bending, it's really well written. I mean, there's a lot of really deep sort of metaphysical and philosophical talk in the movie amongst the characters. A lot of great one-liners, really funny stuff going on. There's several times I just threw my head back and cracked up. The acting is all great. Rob Mays and Chase Williamson, who play Dave and John and Dave respectively, give great performances. Paul Giamatti is in the movie. He's also the executive producer of the film. He plays this journalist who's Dave reaches out to try, and he wants to tell his story to. Clancy Brown as the televangelist. Great stuff. Just all around really, really good and interesting and entertaining movie. I mean, it's a lot to take in. It's one that I'm definitely going to have to sit down and watch again. Because there's just so much going on in it, and there's just so much to look at, and there's so much to think about. But I mean, that first viewing, I mean, I loved it. I'd gotten into sort of a routine of watching a lot of, for some reason, just a lot of bad movies. So I mean, even watching a movie, seemed like a chore to me until I popped this in. And for 99 minutes, 100 minutes, however long it was, I was completely and thoroughly entertained and mesmerized. And it's just a freaky, deaky, trippy, almost stream of consciousness kind of thing going on. But it's very imaginative, it's very idea-driven, it's very, Don Coscarelli-ish. And I really cannot say enough good things about this movie. I highly, highly recommend it. I really, really urge you guys to go out and pick this up. It's from the good people at Magnolia Pictures. It's a magnet release, so definitely go out and pick it up. I actually watched, there's a making of featurette on here that I watched, and there's a interesting part where Don Coscarelli talks about how he first became aware of the book John Dies at the End, and he said it was actually a robot that recommended it to him. It was a one of those Amazon suggestions emails, like, hey, if you like, you search this, if you like this, then hey, check out John Dies at the End. And he read it and he loved it, and he said, this is the movie that I want to make. And it got passed along to Paul Giamatti, and Paul Giamatti read it, and as he said in the interview, he's like, I read so many scripts, and 5 minutes into them, I'm bored out of my mind. I read this one, and it was just a page turner, and I was loving it. And so he, took on the executive producer role and helped the movie get made, and God bless him for it, because this is, like I said, one of the most entertaining, fun, trippy, out there, but completely imaginative, completely idea-driven movies, and such a breath of fresh air, I have to say. Such a breath of fresh air. I highly, highly recommend it. It is immensely entertaining, and this is definitely a keeper. Definitely a keeper. I highly recommend it. You guys should all go out, pick it up immediately. I can't praise it anymore. So just go out, pick it up, and thank me later. So yeah, until next time, you guys take it easy. Peace.